What is up, Derek? 13 Series Engineering here. Last episode, we just went through basic Symfony project setup for a website. You probably aren't going to do this for a web app because of all the SEO stuff that's not really needed. And I know there's some debate out there about including different meta tags or different sitemap stuff. Um, but basically, we just got some of the very simple things done. One thing we are going to need is the icon. I actually have that for these guys in a different app that I've built, as you can see right here. Um, so I'm just going to download this, and we're just going to use that. Cool. Okay. Now this is a 16 by 16 icon, so it's good for the header, but we are going to want to use something different for the OG image. For links, we're going to want to use their regular image. So we're going to need both of those. We're going to add an images directory in our assets. Yes, yes, and then let's see, OG OG site name that can also come out of this block. We'll leave it here. Okay, icon. Here we go. We're gonna go with, so you just go asset, and then this actually doesn't exist yet, but we're gonna do build slash. I think it's the other way. No, it's this way. Build slash images slash fave.ico. Pretty sure that's what it is, right? Faveicon.ico. That should bring that in, but not yet. There's one more thing in webpack we got to do. Same thing with OG image, and that can come out of here as well. We're going to do the same thing. And if you look at this site that I built in the page source, you can see right here that we are using, oh, I think I need that other slash. This kind of relative URL to the public directory for this site. This is just a good way to include this stuff. And it uses Symfony's asset. You can use a absolute URL as well if you want to, but this is like literally the exact same thing. So now that we got that all taken care of, let's see. Okay, we need to actually copy this. Copy absolute path. And wrong one. It just needed the name. I don't know why I did that, but there you go. So that's your OG image. There are different size images you can add in these meta tags. We're not going to get into all that with this. It should be fine. We just need a test when we share a link to the website on like Facebook that it is actually using this image and that it's not distorted or pixelated. We haven't even served this website yet locally, but that's okay. We're going to need to add a yarn package, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. And this is really important. So when this website is deployed, we are just going to have access to this public folder. And that's the only thing we want to have access to. So we need to use the asset tag, and we also need to build the images into this public folder. So we need to copy them using webpack. So webpack, there you go. Copy. Oh man, these Google journeys are like so annoying. I just want the search. Wow, this is like horrible that it just brings up your history like it's an extra step, you know? That's really frustrating. Copying and referencing images. Okay, so copy files is what we want. Now it is going to make us install something. Because we don't have the file copy extension, and that is, I'm pretty sure that's a yarn dependency that we're going to need. Let's just get rid of all of these. Cool. Okay. Sweet. All right. So basically, it's all done for you, but it's going to copy this to the public build folder. And so every time stuff builds, that's where it goes. And so that way we can use that Twig notation to access our images. So what else do we need to add for this? We need to add something to webpack. I know that. It'll tell us when we go in and when we go and actually run this, which we haven't yet. And before we do, let's actually set our site up, and then we can go run this stuff, do the next things we need to do. What we're going to cover today is error pages, like for routes not being found, 404s. And then we're also going to cover cookie consent, because that's something you need. And then from there, we'll do nav and footer. That'll probably be in the next video. But for right now, we're going to have some type of just content. Make sure Bootstrap's working, and so that way we can do the stuff we need to do. And you know, looks like there's a lot of steps before we even write any HTML or any code. But once we get there and get all this stuff built out, we're just going to have some main content blocks for each page to build out, and that's literally going to be it. That's going to be the site. We're going to have to handle you know, email stuff, and we're going to have to add that enrollment, you know, single page app functionality that I talked about before. But it's going to come together really quick. And this is the great part of Symfony. Is it starts off slow, but once you get stuff built out, it's just super easy to keep adding things. Okay, we're going to do a home.html.twig. That's going to be our home page. And this is going to extend base, and then we're going to have block. We're going to have two blocks. One is going to be content, and the other one, or body, however you want to call it. Symfony calls it content by default, or they call it body by default, which is fine, because that's literally what it is. We're going to have body, and we're going to have head tags. And now, what is in... Oh man, I did that backwards. What is in the head right now is fine for the home page. It's based off of the home page. For all this stuff, we don't have keywords or things added, but it's the home, so that's fine. We're going to go and just call, you should always have something in there just in case. We're just going to call parent on this, so it's just going to call that parent block that exists in Twig, which is just this stuff. And now you can call a parent block and add other tags to it, like if you want to add a different meta tag, you know, and whatever, you can go and do all that stuff. But it'll just add stuff into that block, including the parent. So here we're just going to like build this out so we have something to actually look at. We're going to do a div. This is going to be container fluid, so the whole site is going to be like this. And let's see, we need a row. And we'll just cool. Okay, so this is just basically saying that our home route works. We're going to give this full view height, so that way we get the whole page. We're going to take that off later. The other thing we're going to include in our body, and we're not going to do this now, but we are going to do nav and footer components, and those are going to just stay in the body because they're not going to change no matter what page we're on. They're going to be included on every page, so we can just put them here in base HTML. That's fine. You can also include them in every single, you know, body block, but it's just extra work. You know, or we can put blocks if we want to override them, but I know that we don't. So for right now, it's fine to just do it the way that it is. I'm going to take this out of here because we're going to have a different site verification. Cool. Okay. So that's good. We need to run webpack and we need to serve this. And then we're going to add, oh, we need a route too. Then we're going to add our exception pages. So cool. We go to source, controller, and of course you can do Symfony console make controller as well instead of doing what I was going to do, but we're going to call this home controller. Add it to our repo, and we have a route in here, and we want to add caching as well. We want to add a cache policy so that everything is, let's see, expires 3600. So this route is cached, so that way it'll be a lot quicker on our server. All right, slash I hate this snake case naming convention. Just call it home. That's fine. We're gonna have just home. Twig controller name. You should always include that. I know I don't sometimes. No, it's APCU cache. There we go. Public true max age. That's what I was looking for. Couldn't remember it. And we're gonna, this must revalidate. We're gonna get rid of that. Cool. All right, there we go. It's max age, not expires. But this will cache this. So that way we just have a faster experience for our users. Okay, so we're going to do Symfony server start to run this, and we're going to do -d to run it in a daemon. Cool, then we're going to do yarn encore dev -- watch, and we should get an issue here. I think I was dealing with this last time, where why is it, right, there's something else we need to include in, right, I think we need to install this with, something weird always happens with Encore for me. We got this stuff installed though, so it should be good. There we go. Okay. Module not found. Oh, right. Babel core. That's from Bootstrap. I don't like their new website. I like how it was, oh, I just forgot the at. I like how it was before, where it just gave you the command, like the first thing. We got a bunch of warnings for unmet dependency webpack. We need at least webpack 5, I think is what this is saying. We should get those, probably get those warnings again, yeah. Now it's an error though. Sometimes I have issues installing Webpack Encore with Composer, and this would be one of those times where now we have to manually add a bunch of stuff with Yarn, which is fine. We only got a few warnings, Webpack CLI, Babel preset env. I think that's going to be okay. Let's find out. I guess not, but it'll auto install everything for us. Okay, finally, this is what my point that I was trying to get to. We need to install file loader to copy those image files. And it just tells you how to do it, which is super nice. Yarn add file loader. I don't like this warning either, so we're gonna add this guy to Babel preset env. Okay, we have just added a ton of JavaScript. I normally don't like to do that, but we are gonna need that for a lot of this stuff when we go and deploy it. So now our watcher webpack notifier, yes, we do need that as well. It's frustrating that Symfony Encore doesn't install all this stuff automatically. Okay. I'm also missing a stimulus bridge. Yeah, there's no core.js in here either. Not what I was looking for. I'm going to say core.js is not installed, even though it's this. That's the only thing it's looking for. Okay, now let's see what we got. First time, obviously, it's going to take a while to put all this together. Okay, we got one issue now. Controllers.json file was, yeah, Stimulus did not install correctly for whatever reason. We obviously have a controllers.json file. Add a webpack alias. Yeah, it's a webpack loader issue. It's not looking in the right spot, I guess. Maybe. Yeah, it has to do with this because it just didn't. This stuff is in here, but lazy controller loader. Webpack alias. I don't think I've ever had a. Oh man, that's definitely not what I was trying to do. Okay. Let's see. Do we have that in there? Okay, I don't think this is actually going to fix it, but I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be in there. Okay, it did. There we go. So we're just missing that. We're just missing that controllers.json file being loaded through webpack. All right, there we go. So now we should be good. We have our, everything's running. So if I go to localhost, cool, home works, we got all our stuff. We have our fave icon. We have everything we need. This is a 100 view width right here. So perfect. Cool. All right. But what happens if we go to something that's like not a route? We get no route found for this. That's not what we want. On production, you don't get that. What you do get is like this default Symfony error page, which is not pretty. So I bet these guys have one, but let's see. Oops, you've hit a 404 error. This looks kind of ugly, but we can do something pretty similar to that. So first thing we're going to do is go to, we're just going to search Symfony error pages. How to customize error pages, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Okay. Twig pack is a dependency we need for this. We're still going to extend base. We're not, and yeah, we'll just, cool. So now if we go to bundles, did I spell that right? Yeah. And I'm sure there's a console command for this. Twig bundle, exception. And then we can do, yeah, 404. That's really what we need. And then bad request and internal server error, we're just going to put that, oh man, I did that as a directory. We're going to do that as just a general error. Because for the user, there's not going to be, all of those kind of server errors we're going to have that are actual unhandled exceptions, but because of our mistakes, those are going to be, they're going to end up showing in like turbo frames and stuff. So that's fine to just have 404s and then general errors. If this was a more complicated site, there's a lot of other stuff like expired links or expired data or different stuff like that. But for what we're doing, wow, really can't spell. Error. Cool. Okay. So we're going to have all this stuff. We're going to still have our nav and our footer when we go and build it. But, now you can see we're going to have our 404 error. And for this one, we're just going to have, whoops. This is the 404 error. This is, oops. Oops error. Cool. So now if we go to a route that's not there, okay, that's annoying. I think maybe because it's in dev mode, right? non-HTML formats. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this just isn't obviously going to work with debug on. Yep. Yeah, it's just for production. So basically, we're just going to have to do the markup on a different route for this stuff, and then so make sure it looks good. And then when it goes to production, then we will, or really needs to go to a staging URL, but then we can test this stuff out after we get everything built out and kind of design the error page. We might do a little bit different design than what's there currently, but basically that's just how you add error pages and everything like that. These aren't really going to be rounded out until, that's probably what we'll end up doing after nav and footer, is we'll do home and we'll do the error pages, you know, on their own, I guess. And then just to make sure that they're good, just to test everything. Cool. So basically, yes, this will work on production, and no, we can't test it locally. I think we are just about there to actually get to the next point of building nav and building footer and writing some HTML and having that being super boring, but it's kind of more going to be more of a tutorial on Bootstrap than anything, but that's okay.